All right, this is a continuation of the first video where we will do two practice problems. 34 college students were asked how much money they spent on textbooks for the current semester. Their responses are shown in the following stem plot. Now, the first thing that I noticed about this stem plot is that it's skewed to the right. And since it's skewed to the right, I knew that I needed to calculate the median and the interquartile range because those are the best measures of center and spread when a distribution is skewed. So you'll notice up here, I'm just showing my work. I wouldn't necessarily have written this anywhere if it was a free response question. Since there are 34 college students, I knew that the median was between the 17th and 18th. I determined that these two numbers were the 17th and 18th numbers. The 17th is $280 and the 18th number is $290. So the median is between that, $285. The first quartile is the ninth number. So I counted starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ninth number. So that's 1/8, which translates as $180 is Q1. Then I counted 9 numbers past the median, which is right here. So I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is Q3, so Q3 is 390. And then I subtracted 390 minus 180 to get 210 is the interquartile range, Q3 minus Q1. Okay, now that I've got my median and interquartile range, the next thing I'm going to do, because I notice that there's a gap, then I need to know if this is an outlier, which is $810. If any number is greater than Q3 plus 1.5 IQR, it is an outlier. So Q3 is 390 plus 1.5 times 210 is 705. So anything above 705 is an outlier, so I have determined that $810 is an outlier. If anything is lower than Q1 minus 1.5 IQR, it's an outlier. Well, notice that that answer is negative, so there are no low outliers. Now I was ready to write. Now remember, when you're writing your description of a distribution, be contextual and use units. Do not be generic. Don't forget dollar signs. Don't forget pounds or feet or whatever the problem is about. So the distribution of dollars spent on textbooks this semester is skewed to the right. There is a gap between $620 and $810 with an outlier of $810 having been tested. The median amount spent on textbooks is $285 with an interquartile range of $210. Again, it's important that I didn't leave those dollar signs off those numbers anywhere. That's a contextual unit of measure. Notice I did not say the distribution is skewed right with a median of 285. I was contextual and I used units. Now, the next important thing that you need to remember how to do is to compare two distributions. Remember, when you're comparing two distributions, don't summarize both distributions. Compare them. And usually when you're comparing them, it's comparing the center and spread. So I made a histogram of the middle-aged men's flexibility ratings, and I made a histogram of the young adults' flexibility ratings. I noticed that the middle-aged males' ratings was roughly symmetric, but the young adult males' flexibility ratings is skewed to the left. So that'll be something of a comparison. You'll also notice that I calculated the medians for both and Q1 and Q3 for both. Make an appropriate graphical display and write a few sentences comparing them. So I'm ready to compare. The distribution of flexibility ratings for the young adults is skewed left, indicating more of them have a high flexibility ratings. The distribution of ratings for middle-aged men is roughly symmetric. The young men have a 1 point higher average rating than the middle-aged men. That sentence is a comparison. The young men are slightly higher on average in flexibility. Both have an interquartile range of 2 points. Since they have the same spread, that's a comparison, is to say that they have the same spread. But if the interquartile ranges were different, I could have found myself writing sentences such as, the middle-aged men's distribution has more spread, indicating that there's inconsistency in their overall flexibility ratings, but I couldn't say that here.